spending, I think, and like.
Boy, oh boy, the transfer window where Arsenal are concerned. We just can't catch a break, can we, Arsenal fans? Big up everybody tuned in. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Offer your opinions throughout this video and also in the comment section after. I'm sure you've all got a bunch of things to say. Manchester City expected to make opening offer for Arsenal target Declan Rice. And, you know, I don't know how you lot are with this, but my 5 pence, I actually put them down in some notes, people. So my thoughts on this immediately would be, you know, immediately you're kind of relying on Declan Rice's words, you know, regardless of the Manchester Cities and people like that of this world and what they could offer him in terms of money, in terms of clearly a better sporting project than Arsenal, winning trophies. You're kind of relying on Declan Rice's word that he, you know, reports say he's enticed by what Arteta could do for him. He wants to link up with his Arsenal players. You know, he's going to get more first team football. He wants to stay in London. I've always said I think he'd be an idiot not to consider moving to Manchester City and specifically what Pep Guardiola has going on there for what he could do to improve as a player. We'll be here all day for all the players that he's improved at City and probably Barcelona and maybe even people like Trent Alexander-Arnold and who is it, Nathan Redmond, where you've seen them clips where he's playing matches against them and he's putting arms around them and things like that. So you're relying on Declan Rice's word that he wants to sign for Arsenal. Obviously, I don't know where you go with that in the world of business. Words mean nothing. Things need to be dotted and crossed and contracts need to be signed. Crucially, Arsenal need to find an agreement with Manchester City. We've been here before, the Mudriks, the Caicedos, all of these things. You can agree personal terms. The players can come and publicly state their willingness to move. If you cannot agree a deal with West Ham in this example or any other club, it's a myth. Good players always going to be in high demand. It's no surprise Manchester City want to sign one of the best English players. Him, Grealish, Foden. Indirectly, a couple of them players could be part of a long-term sort of project at City that will probably extend beyond Pep Guardiola's years at the club. So you're relying on his desire to join Arsenal, but ultimately money talks. City are prepared to run up the bag, probably give West Ham closer to what they want in terms of a fee and also the breakdown of that fee. You know, how much do they get and when, which you hear Arsenal are struggling with. Money talks. Edu and Arteta need to pull their fingers out. Not even Arteta, because this is out of his remit, and get the bid done really and truly. What I would say as well, we don't know everything which is happening in this relation to Declan Rice. Of course, I would love for him to sign for Arsenal. I can't blame anyone for being pessimistic now. But again, what's put out in the papers and what's actually happening in the business meetings and things are two very different things. So it's almost a calm before the storm wherever he goes, really. It don't look good. Good players, as I said, are wanted by everyone. We don't know all of the variables that are at place. Could this be pressure from West Ham externally to get Arsenal to get a bid done? Could this be, you know, agents putting things out by Arsenal or by West Ham or by Declan Rice's advisors? We don't know everything which is being done, people, really and truly. It could be pressuring us to get a new deal done. One does wonder if and when this bid from City comes and ultimately could be accepted, when will it be completed? Because as we know, Declan Rice is currently on holiday. West Ham could be capping about this. They could have put something out to the media, but and on paper right now, the only bid that has been placed or series of bids has been from Arsenal. So get it done, really and truly. He's on holiday at the moment. So when would a deal, whether it's to Manchester City or Arsenal, in fact, be completed? It does stink of the Mudryk saga again. And what I would say, it's not a good look if we fail to get the target. Fair enough. Arsenal have shown that if any deal goes beyond what they think it's worth, they'll walk away. As long as you've got a contingency plan, it is what it is. It's something I've been saying all summer. By all means, go after Caicedo, go after Rice, Lavia, all the players that we're linked with. Just make sure come the end of the deadline day, you have a midfield options and you have midfielders to pick from, really. So we'll have to see exactly what's going to happen with Declan Rice. Let me know your thoughts. But Ornstein posted 51 minutes ago, Manchester City are expected to make an opening offer for West Ham midfielder Declan Rice on Thursday, which is today. Arsenal had a club record proposal worth up to 90 million, comprising of £75 million fee and 15 million in add-ons, turned down by their Premier League rivals early this week. But it's believed Arsenal are getting closer to a fee that West Ham are aiming to achieve if their captain is to depart. The Athletic reported earlier this month that Manchester City were also actively exploring an approach of their own for the 24-year-old, which they will now set to follow with an official bid. Maybe now that they've had confirmation that it looks like Gundogan is going to Barcelona, while they're not too like for like players, you know, this has now started a domino effect, people, which could take shape really and truly. And I'd expect, even though we're not going to get Caicedo, Arsenal to be linked with Caicedo again. City are greedy because it looks like they'll be getting Kovacic as well. So, you know, obviously they've got trophies. You can learn a hell of a lot there, Declan Rice. Game time, man. Stay at the come to the Emirates and stay in London, my brother. You know, it'd be nice. As we know, he's got 2 years left on his deal. 1 year officially confirmed with the option of another one. You know, again, we've been chasing this saga all the time. I'm not going to keep reading the same things. Apparently, City will blow the race to sign Declan Rice wide open as they prepare to make an imminent offer in a bid to beat rivals Arsenal and Man United to the £100 million signing. You did hear yesterday Manchester United were prepared to offer a choice of Maguire or Scott McTominay, or some reports actually said both, plus a fee to get Declan Rice. West Ham expect Man City to make an offer for Declan Rice following Gundogan's decision to join Barca. So no bid has been placed, but various outlets have been briefed. So there must be something imminently. City are weighing up an official offer for the West Ham skipper, with the London club now anticipating that an offer for Rice is imminent. Arsenal have seen 2 offers for Rice turned down, the latest worth 90 million. Allegedly, his preference has been to join the Emirates. But again, if Arsenal can't agree a fee and City do, and you do really want to leave and do all these things and elevate beyond West Ham, then you've got to, like Mudryk, you've got to make a move really, or sit on your hands. But it now remains to be seen whether City's emergence as genuine contenders for his signature sparks a change in heart, people. Arsenal will return with a third bid for Rice. As revealed by Mail Sport on Tuesday, the Gunners' new bid, believed to be worth 75 million in guaranteed cash with 15 million add-ons, was turned down as they're holding out for 100-odd million. Well-placed sources had indicated an expectation that Arsenal's second offer would be worth 90 million plus further performance-related incentives, pushing the deal closer to 100 million. Obviously, that's falling short, people. Apparently, Arsenal will make a third offer for the England international. And we just have to hope the groundwork that we've been putting in for months works. But that doesn't mean anything when you're playing, you know, when you're a tadpole really swimming with Man City sharks. It's been indicated that we're willing to meet the 100 million valuation, but you might be willing to do it, but it's not on paper at the moment. It's not in terms of add-ons and fees and a structure of a deal that West Ham deem suitable, really. So it needs to get done. Allegedly, personal terms well in excess of 200 grand a week will be formally sealed quickly once West Ham and Arsenal agree a fee, but it remains to be seen if City's interest scuppers the expectation that Rice will move to Arsenal. As you know, they're reinforcing. They've got Kovacic for 25 million, and they could get Declan Rice, as Gundogan is set to sign a 2-year deal at the Camp Nou, people. So we'll have to see exactly what's being said. Apparently, DiMarzio, people, has said that once again they're willing to join. The crucial bit of this information allegedly is City currently want to offer 75 million in 2 installments plus 15 million add-ons, which are thought to be realistically achievable. Isn't that the same sort of structure for what Arsenal initially bidded? So maybe they've got their own valuation. Now, clearly, I think Arsenal will be doing the football manager stuff a bit more than Man City. Man City are more likely to win a Prem, champs, and all of these things. So West Ham might deem the structure of their deal a lot more achievable wherever they're asking in terms of it, people. This is understood to be a better overall package than Arsenal's previous bid that was rejected, who offered the same amount of money but in several installments and left less achievable bonuses, as you see there, people. Arsenal are prepared to bid again for the number 1 target, but Man City are willing to go toe-to-toe following the imminent departure of Gundogan. Calvin Phillips is also likely to depart. Now, he said he doesn't want to leave City, and you're getting called up to the England squad. You've won a treble. Yeah, you're not getting game time, but it could make sense to stay. But he's someone that could potentially be offered in a make-weight, people. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on in them regards there, people. This is said Arsenal trying to penny pinch in a bid to sign the 120 million rated Declan Rice, which would be silly, people, allegedly. Apparently, Team News and Ticks has said, now I don't credit all of these in the knows. I don't know if they know anything, but I'd say his track record's been quite decent on Twitter. He has said Arsenal know what money will get it done, so let's get it done. They're just trying to scrimp because they don't think that Declan will go elsewhere. What you think and what actually happens in this life are 2 different things. So they know the exact figure that will get it done. They are just basically trying to penny pinch, which I guess if you know that you're the only buyer, which is not true anymore, is probably the right thing to do. No, it's not, because you'd sit on your hands, you're in issues. West Ham rejected the first bid and said they wanted more up front. The second bid is actually the same amount but it was more upfront. I'm still trying to find out the exact breakdown of that, but it would have been worth more upfront with less payments. The first bid was 80 million over 6 windows, so 13 million each time, which would have done West Ham no favors. I mean, you mess about, you're not going to get the players. As simple as that, really and truly. Kai Havertz is set to undergo an Arsenal medical after allegedly a 65 million pound fee has been agreed with Chelsea. People, we're set to pay an initial 62 million for the Germany international, and that will kickstart allegedly a 200 million pound summer recruitment drive at the Emirates Stadium. Havertz has agreed personal terms over a long-term contract. He's currently on a summer break, people, after playing for Germany. The Gunners are ready to carry out medical checks abroad if needed, as they bid to wrap up their first signing of the summer, people. So that's in relation to Chelsea and Kai Havertz and Arsenal. They've agreed to sell Havertz to their London rivals because they need to offload players to help balance the books and definitely reduce the size of the squad, people. Sam Dean of the Telegraph has said, everything I understand at this moment is that it's likely to happen on Rice. My fear from an Arsenal perspective is the longer it goes on without an agreement, the greater chance of somebody else, Man United, Man City, for example, Man United or whoever coming in and to try and muscle in the situation. If you were to ask me, are you confident they'll get him? I would say at this point, yes, I am. I'll be confident when the man's holding the shirt, really. The dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. Smash the like button. Romano has said, West Ham always expected City to join the race after the Gundogan decision, which you've seen. Man City will only bid if player agrees to the move. And I mean, I hear the fact that he wants to stay in London, but in principle, if you're turning down, at least in theory, joining City, you got to be crazy, Declan Rice. Arsenal remain confident and are prepared to bid again for Declan. Arteta is insisting there's been no approach currently from Manchester United, people. Man City have decided to bid for Declan Rice after calling West Ham last Friday to be informed. City also checked the player side and understand Rice is open to any move, so the deal depends on the club now. Arsenal planning to bid again since last week. I mean, if you're not going to consider City, you'd be silly, people. So yeah, people, make of it what you will. Declan Rice decision entering into crucial days. Arsenal want to be fast to avoid surprises. New bid to be discussed after 80 million rejected. Personal terms almost agreed. Again, City asked again for the status of Rice deal on Friday, which was obviously last week. And now they've been informed on what's going on with Gundogan, people. So it is what it is. Romano has said, I understand Arsenal advancing on a full agreement on personal terms with Timber. The player has accepted to join Arsenal. Negotiations will follow between Ajax and Arsenal in the next hours and days. New bid expected soon. Romano on that has said Arsenal will bid again for Timber. They want him. They feel that the player wants to accept the proposal. He is really attracted by Arsenal as a possibility, and so in progress for Timber to Arsenal because they will bid again. The player wants to move more than other clubs interested, including Bayern. His brother has spoken on his twin brother has spoken on his future as well. He said, I don't know if there is an offer. I don't know. We will see. At least he's not in London right now, which, okay, the article kind of done me there, didn't shed anything new there. Romano has also doubled down on it, people, and said, that the player really wants to move to Arsenal more than other clubs, including Bayern, who were informed on the deal, but whose priority remains Kim Min-jae. Timber dreams of the Premier League, and so Arsenal are absolutely ahead in the race at this stage. Arsenal have a fresh new project, and they trust young, versatile players like him. It looks like an ideal move for the young Dutch midfielder. Sam Dean has said Arsenal have been looking for a while for a right back / centre back who can sort of invert in the way that Zinchenko does, and Timber is the guy they've come on. They've identified, and I've been told he's been a top target for quite a long time now. I mean, everybody's saying that, really and truly. So we'll have to see. On Caicedo, he said, I'm struggling to see a way in which Arsenal can finance that while also signing Havertz and potentially Timber. We're talking about nearly 300 million now in one summer, unless for whatever reason it becomes a much cheaper option, which I don't think he will, because we're dealing with Brighton here. No one gets a cheap deal at Brighton. McAllister, even though there was factors that made that happen, I can't see that happening as well. Romano has also said once again that we'll bid again. So the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Let me know your thoughts on Declan Rice. Again, he probably does go to Man City. So if Rice goes to Manchester City, if Caicedo goes to Chelsea, it all depends on what's going on with Lavia, and obviously Xhaka and Partey are linked with moves away. Again, we need to have a backup option. I don't care if we tried, by all means, I would love Declan Rice. He's a quality player, but the world keeps spinning. If you can't convince him or you can't get a deal done with West Ham, make sure somebody arrives, because we tried doesn't do anything in this life. Midfield needs to be readdressed. So it's the calm before the storm, but the transfer market firmly is opening up. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, Deluded Gooner, Kick Deluded Gooner, and obviously you're watching this on YouTube, so hit the sub button as well. Check out the other videos I've done, and before you know it, I'll be back again. One love.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like